Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, it's panned out to be another day where we have seen a lot of consolidation amidst choppiness that's panned out in trade. We are 46 points down, but the good part is that we've recovered from the low point of the day. 44 points down on the Nifty. We are back above 25,100 odd mark. Let's see how this pans out in trade, but let's welcome our guest on board as well. We're now joined by Mr. Gaurav Sharma, who's joining in to share with us his market views. He's the Associate Vice President and Head of Research at Globe Capital. Warm welcome to you, Gaurav. Good to have you with us. Well, what's the sense that you have on the markets of 2 or 3 weeks of plain consolidation, a narrow band of trade that's panned out? A lot of overhangs globally as well as locally. Earning season has kick-started, although on a muted note. What would that probably lead you to do in the markets right now?
Hi, good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon to all the viewers. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Thank you.
I take it as a good day today. Nifty managed to hold the 25,000 mark. We were looking at it, support there. That is what we had recommended to our clients earlier this morning, and it just appeared too well for us. The Nifty bounced back just, from that level after just kissing out that level, and steep bounce is what we are seeing currently. When we are winding up the day today, we are winding it up on a little, on a short covering type of a mode, which I see as a positive stance and gives brighter hopes that we possibly could open little higher in tomorrow's trade as Nifty seems bouncing towards 25,200 to 20 odd levels. So although overall, from a positional standpoint, Nifty is still in a little sell and rise kind of a view. Although breakdown is awaited above below 25,000 mark, but 25 220 is a level where I'll be eyeing to short sell the position for maybe a day or two kind of a trade. So that's how we are going about it.
Okay, got that. Now, let me just ask you on the market breadth that has improved for the better. A lot of sectors that are buzzing. Real estate is now moved to the top spot, 1.4% higher. You have media stocks that are higher. Even the broader markets that are performing better than the benchmarks at this point. Banks, some of them at least have moved up. PSUs and private sector banks are moving up. Metals and auto, FMCG. These are the pockets that are also turning green. Now, we only have the IT sector that continues to be, in a really weak trajectory right from last few days, but rest of the pockets, they're still showing us some traction on the higher side. Let's start off by discussing a few pockets with you, Gaurav. We'll start off with the real estate pack, the top moving sector right now. What do you think is behind this fresh move, and would it give you any confidence to jump in onto this space?
Yes, real estate sector has shown good resilience in today's trade. It has started moving up a lot earlier than when Nifty even witnessed a round of buying. So yes, there is buying interest. A little consolidation was seen in past couple of sessions. A breakout from them from that range is still awaited. So I'll hold down the horses as of now and stick around with a little buying in DLF here. So one can consider a DLF at this point of time for a very short term kind of a trade, maybe for a couple of days, and keeping a small stop just below 815 and look for targets close to 850, 860. So I'll just take around to DLF from the real estate side as of now.
Okay, fair point. So DLF from the real estate pack looks good at this point. We'll also start off by discussing, as far as the Nifty movers are concerned today, it's the, Zomato's parent firm, Eternal, that's jumped higher by 2.7%. It's the top moving stock today, 270 odd levels. After a long haul, we are seeing 270 back on Zomato. What does this point out to? Is a fresh wave of move going to be taking it back above 300 levels?
Yes, very rightly pointed out. This is a kind of a fresh up move seen in Zomato. This is a volume backed buying, and that too came in an otherwise dismal trading session. So these are very good signs. I take it very positively. From past couple of weeks, Zomato was trading in a narrow range of around 255, 260 on the downside and somewhat around 270 on the higher side. Today we witnessed a breakout, and I see the stock heading towards 290, 295, and even 300 is also possible in the next couple of weeks.
300 is possible in the next couple of weeks. Fresh move has started off and you can actually see the stock moving higher in trade. Let me also pull up a few more stocks. In the F&O space today, it's Vodafone Idea that's jumping about 7 odd percent. Now, this has been one of those dicey stocks that a lot of retail investors are wary of, but at the same time, many of them also have a holding onto this stock. Every time there is a positive development on news flows, we do see some bounce, but there fails to be a sustainable move on the higher side because there are always some regulatory concerns that boil the stock down. Any suggestion that you have on Vodafone Idea?
Utilize bounce to book your positions.
Okay, fair point. What about Ola Electric? Today that's also jumped after a fairly long time. 15, 16, even 17% intraday move has been seen. This is after the earnings have come in for the company. Some of the businesses within the verticals, the key verticals, you can actually see the stock reacting now 17% higher at 46.6 odd levels. Remember, this has been a very laggard space. You know, the stock came out with an IPO at 76 odd levels, went up to all the way up to 140 odd levels, towards the first week of listing, and thereafter the stock has only lagged and it's down by 70-75% from its all-time high levels. Now, fresh wave of move is coming on the back of the earnings, which have suggested at least some of the verticals have turned EBITDA positive, and that probably is one of the key reasons why the stock is higher. Again, would you say that this is probably giving you an opportunity to exit, or are things turning back on track?
I think investors should utilize this bounce to offload their positions. This particular space is having huge competition. The likes of Hero MotoCorp, TVS, Bajaj Auto, they are literally the landlords of the space. And now they are entering the electric segment also. They have entered the electric segment also. All of them are having their part in the market. So it will be really difficult for something like an Ola Electric to come up and take the baton here. So I'll still say that old is gold. Stick around with these writer names. Hero MotoCorp is available as a very attractive level. From here on, if someone can hold it for the next 1.5 2 years, I think this stock has good potential.
Okay, fair point. Old is gold, and one can actually look at better opportunities that present themselves, for all our viewers to see at this point too. Let me quickly look at some of the other stocks that are buzzing in the broadest index. Let's look at stocks like the Nifty 500 names. Newland Laboratories, that's up 17%. You also have names like Anand Rathi Wealth, about 11.8% higher, consistently improving earnings, and that is behind the fresh move there too. Allied Blenders and Distillers, about 8% higher. Igarashi Motors, about 8% higher. You also have names like Phase 3, Godfrey Phillips, SML Isuzu. That's another one that's up by about 6.5%. MTNL is also moving. Remember that telecom move that we were just discussing. From the Nifty 500 basket, Gaurav, anything that takes your attention, any stock that you'd like to carry on in the momentum?
Yeah, you have just named one of them, Newland Laboratories. The stock has, clocked a 17% heading towards maybe 20% is also possible in today's trade, the way the stock is trading higher. So it still looks good, and I think we would see an extension of this particular up move in tomorrow's session as well. The stock is likely to test 15,200 to 20 odd levels, and once that level is taken out, it will quickly rush up towards 16,500 levels. The kind of volume backed buying which we are seeing, which is absolutely phenomenal. It is multifold kind of volumes that what we are seeing. Apart from that, I am also bullish on some of the pharma stocks like the Wockhardt Pharma, Torrent Pharma. Divis Lab is a long term favorite to us. So one can stick around with these kind of stocks.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also given you some sense of how to look forward to some stock ideas in the broadest index, viewers. Let's discuss even some of the other pockets. PSU stocks, let's discuss some of them. I think it's the OMCs that are again back in action. Brokerage houses are penciling in higher targets for OMCs. Crude oil prices are ebbing lower. OPEC is looking at increasing the supplies and the production there. And geopolitical tensions have also eased out quite a bit. How would you look at the oil marketing names then, Gaurav?
OMCs are pretty attractive. I'll stick with my favorite one is Indian Oil Corporation.
Okay.
Uh, any decline from this level, maybe a 2 3 rupees more sell off, a level close to 145 is a good point. So if someone finds the stock somewhere close to that level, this gives a good buying entry there. The stop loss would be very close by, that is just about 140 138. It'll be a good buy around those levels, considering the kind of dividend history this stock comes out with. From a long term standpoint also, this is a very attractive bet.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also given you some understanding of how to go about it. Let's discuss some of the other stocks that are buzzing. We'll also pull up the FMCG stocks for you. There, Gaurav, we did see some momentum build up last week on. A lot of buzz was seen on live in the large caps like HUL, Nestle, Dabur, Marico. These were the stocks that were on the buzz. Are you looking forward to some improvement coming back to the fore as far as this beaten down space is concerned, FMCG space?
Very rightly said, FMCG was a long-standing beaten down stays, nowhere in the flare. But this is, a time I think these stocks are getting back into action. We are expecting, most of these companies coming out with a double-digit sales growth figures in the later half of the year. We are bullish on stocks like Hindustan Unilever, Godrej Consumer Products, and Dabur.
Okay, that's the FMCG space for you. What about consumer durable space? Is anything looking interesting there as well? And when we broaden the horizon from FMCG to the entire consumption space, what else takes your attention?
I think sometime back we have discussed on your channel also that stocks like Blue Star, Voltas, Amber Enterprises, all the three of the AC manufacturing companies are available at a very attractive level here. With monsoon arriving a little early, this hampered the sales growth. But at the levels these stocks are available, I think these are good levels one can consider accumulating the stock. Voltas hasn't performed at all. Same goes with Blue Star, although some buying has been witnessed of late in Amber Enterprises. So I'm not suggesting that stock at currently, but Blue Star and Voltas can certainly be considered.
Fair point. I hope this has also given you some idea as to how to go about it. You were talking about a few pharma names. I wanted to broaden the horizon and get you to also answer about the entire pharma gamut of stocks that we have. On the one hand, we have hospital stocks. The other side, we have diagnostics. We are also given to understand there are a lot of news flows that are taking place on the approvals that are coming in. How would you look at pharma stories?
With the recent news and the development coming in about Donald Trump increasing the tariff to 1.5 years now, this is a very positive outcome, and we take it like that. Stocks like Walk Pharma and Torrent Pharma continue to impress us. Divis Lab, our long time favorite, and we continue to maintain a buy rating on the same. Apart from this, for today, I have Fortis in my kitty as a BTST trade. So it can be considered, one can take it as a BTST trade at the current market price. The stop loss that one should consider is also very close. So that is why it makes an attractive bet. Currently, the stock is quoting around 781. So 770 can be the stop loss, and one can look for targets close to 800, 810.
Point. Let me just quickly go back to the markets to see what exactly is taking place. Now, we do see, of course, a lot of weakness on the IT pack, even on the Nifty. We are actually seeing a lot of IT names that are dragging. Infosys, HCL Tech ahead of earnings. Remember, TCS is down in trade as well. Tech Mahindra, all of these stocks are somehow lagging. We also have some finance names that are down and out. You can see Jio Financial Services 2% down, Bajaj Finance about 1.5% down in trade. So that's what's happening in the NBFC space and the tech space at large too. Gaurav, I wanted to start off by understanding on the tech space or the IT pack that began reporting their numbers last week with TCS coming out with the numbers. Numbers had been muted. even Tata Elxsi for that matter reported somewhat disappointing numbers. Both of them were enough to drag the Nifty, sentiments around the IT index as well. Today also the index is down by about 1%. HCL Tech reports its numbers today. What's your overall understanding on the IT pack right now ahead of earnings, and what are the initial signs from some of the numbers that have come in tell you about what could happen for the broad spectrum of stocks within this basket?
Yeah. So firstly, here is a disclaimer. Today itself, we have released a report on TCS, coming up with a buy rating with a price tag of 3525, assessing its numbers. So we are positive on TCS and we recommend a buy on the stock with a long-term outlook. We see the whatever uncertainties that the company has witnessed of late, they will not have a long-standing move, and they will vanish in the later half. Therefore, we suggest investors to consider a buy on the stock.
Got that. You know what, viewers, we will also be getting you, a clear report on what to expect from HCL Tech's numbers as well. So stay tuned for that. We will get you an entire report of what are the top brokerage houses really expecting from this earnings, and what can you also really strategize on this one. My colleague Asim will be joining in to share with us, an insight as to what are the key numbers that you should be watching out for, what within the commentary of the management is something that you should be keeping a clean eye out on as well, and of course what are the top brokerages also saying on that front too. So Asim will be joining in a minute, but let's also talk about within the large versus the mid cap basket. Whenever we compare the two IT segments, over the last many quarters the trend has been that it's the mid cap space that usually outperforms in terms of the earnings that are coming in, likes of Coforge, Persistent, Emphasis. These are the kind of pockets that usually outperform, Birla Soft, and these are the stocks that also started the momentum on a higher side even after Q4 earnings as well. So when one has to look at the choice between the large and the mid caps, what do you suggest clients to do, and how do you expect them to really make that choice for themselves?
You rightly pointed out that the mid-cap stocks within the IT space, come up with a phenomenal run-up. Having said that, we cannot leave behind the large cap space because they are actually the flair of the market. And TCS, we have already talked about. Wipro, I want to speak out that this stock has not performed quite well in the recent past, but the way this stock is available at current valuations, they look fairly impressive to us. So one can consider this as a long-term bet for the next 2 years. The kind of acquisitions this stock has done over the past years will start showcasing their part in terms of numbers in the coming quarters. Now coming on to the mid-cap IT space, Emphasis has been our long-standing favorite. We continue to maintain a buy and a bullish stance on this stock. Currently, the stock is quoting at 2830. If in any dip we would find the stock at 2650, this would be a very attractive buying point. So one can consider it for a trading as well as for a medium to long-term perspective around those levels.
Got that. Gaurav, we'll just go across to Asim now to understand what are his own research points when it comes to the earnings that could come in from HCL Tech, and we'll of course come to you for an expert take right after. Asim, go on. Tell us, what do we expect from HCL Tech? TCS has been a disappointing one. What do we expect? HCL Tech usually in the last couple of quarters has managed to put in better earnings than Infosys and TCS, the larger peers. Do you think this time around it will be able to manage to pull up another good set of numbers too?
Yeah, thanks, Sakshi. So among the brokerages we have picked, they are mostly saying that it will be mostly a muted quarter one performance. Coming to the stock, the HCL Technology stock is trading over 1% lower today, and it fell to a low of rupees 1607. Among global factors, macroeconomic uncertainties, including Donald Trump's tariffs and rising trade tensions, are likely to affect the earnings of the IT major today. The key factors to watch out for during the earnings today are deal pipeline of the firm, discretionary spends, outlook on ER&D services and business. HCL Tech is among the Axis Securities top picks for result positive plays today. BFSI vertical is likely to outperform other segments such as manufacturing, retail, and telecom. while on the other hand, engineering and R&D business can be seen some softness. Coming to the brokerages, Axis Securities expects HCL Tech to report a revenue growth of 0.3% quarter on quarter on account of weak service business. Operating margin is expected to contract by 44 bps in Q1, and revenues are likely to rise 8.1% to rupees 30,325 crore in Q1 from rupees 28,057 crore in the June 2024 quarter. Axis Securities also expects a 2.6% rise in revenue from rupees 40,925 crore in March 2025 quarter. Profit it expects to come at rupees 4,279 crore, rising 0.5% from rupees 2,059 crore in June 2024 quarter, and falling 0.7% from rupees 4,309 crore in the March 2025 quarter. EBIT margin is seen rising by 46 basis points to 17.5% in Q1 against 17.1% in June 2025 quarter, and falling 44 bps from 18% in the March 2025 quarter. Another brokerage, Equirus, expects dollar revenue growth of 1.4% quarter on quarter due to seasonal weakness in IT services and PNP business. The constant currency dip of 0.9% Q on Q is expected in services. EBIT margins are likely to fall by 77 bps on a quarter-on-quarter basis, led by seasonal weakness, said Equirus Securities. And it also expects that the profit is likely to fall 0.7% to rupees 4,275 crore from rupees 4,307 crore in the March 2025 quarter. Equirus sees revenue rising 5.4% to $3,547 million per dollar against $3,364 million in the June 2024 quarter. We have another broking, Choice Broking, which expects constant currency revenue to fall by 0.7% sequentially. However, a few favorable cross-currency movement estimated at 200 basis points is likely to lift dollar reported revenue by around 1.3% quarter on quarter. Back to you, Sakshi.
All right, Seem, thanks a lot for all that update as well. We will definitely keep a keen eye out on all those points once the earnings come out. Gaurav, HCL Tech, when we compare to Infosys and TCS, how do you expect one to really trade this one?
For HCL2, we are expecting a muted set of numbers this time again. And Asen has already covered, most of the parts. So on the numbers point, I won't be adding up. But there is one thing that I want to, share with the viewers. That is what the charts are suggesting. The recent decline seen in HCL Tech shares started from 2000 odd levels, and the stock went as low as almost 1300 mark. Currently, the stock is trading at 1619. This is actually a complete 61% retracement as per the Fibonacci theory from where the stock has started reversing. This clearly goes to show that some more decline towards 1550 is pretty much possible. Therefore, I won't be surprised to see the stock trading 4 to 5% lower in the days to come, because that's what this particular theory is suggesting, and it really works well. So we are expecting the kind of results and the chart patterns. Somewhat more of a decline is pretty much likely in HCL Tech. 1550 is the level that I'm looking at.
Okay, fair point. Got that. I hope viewers have got a 360-degree understanding of how the earnings could come in, what are the brokerage houses saying, and what is our market expert really advising ahead of the earnings there as well. Let's talk about banks, which we haven't touched too much. Private banks vis-a-vis PSU banks, what are the opportunities there, Gaurav, that you're looking at currently?
I like PSU banks, and they are reversing from a very good attractive levels. Many of them are reversing from the confluence zones of its long and medium term averages, like the 200 100 period averages. Stocks like Bank Baroda, Bank India, Canara Bank, all are available at very attractive levels. So they can be considered from a trading perspective. Although the larger one, that is the SBI, is trading somewhat different to most of the other stocks that I have discussed. SBI is completely range bound as of now, and it is a larger range of around 830 on the higher side and somewhat around 780 on the downside. So that's a 50 60 points range in which SBI is trading. And till we see a breakout from this, I think a sideways kind of a move would likely continue. I'll stick with Canara Bank in this space.
Okay, Gaurav, just wanted to also get a sense from you when it comes to the auto space at large. What are you looking at here? This has been also one of the spaces which have been in the slower lane. Of course, a lot of headwinds keep erupting for, as speed breaks for a smooth ride within the auto basket. But when we look to choose between, say, the four-wheelers, the two-wheelers at large, looking at, smooth monsoon that we are looking at, above normal monsoon rainfall. We have, all the factors that could be probably pointing out to higher consumption trends going forward. We had the tax cuts, we have had robust rate cuts from the RBI as well, and of course we have good monsoon. So all of that, do you think is likely to pour into good sales for the auto space, and should one be really betting big on it? And of course we'll be heading into the festive season a bit early this time around.
Absolutely, with good monsoons this year, the onset of the festive season, we are expecting good numbers ticking in for the automakers. A perfect blend of the rural consumption, the rural demand, and the urban demand. There is a company, Mahindra and Mahindra. They're both agricultural. They are doing good from whether it is the agri equipment, the tractors, or maybe the four-wheeler segment. On all segments, this company is performing well, and so is its stock price, trading just near its all-time highs. It is still attractive. Any decline from the current levels should certainly be considered a fresh buying opportunity. Viewers, those who are holding, they may continue to hold, and a fresh breakout is also likely above 3,300 odd levels. When we see that, this stock will enter a new trajectory. So from a four-wheeler point of view, M&M should be considered. Now, when we look at the two-wheeler point, we are bullish on Hero MotoCorp, as a good monsoon will lead to good demand coming in from the rural segment, and Hero MotoCorp is the largest player, available at a 19 PE. So this clearly brings out all the points which are good to buy a company. From a technical standpoint, also the stock is on a verge of a breakout just above 4,400 mark. Once that is taken out, the stock will quickly head towards 5,200s. So therefore, at that point, even traders can look out for this stock. From an investment perspective, it is still a buy.
Okay, got that. Well, thank you so much then, Gaurav, for being with us on the program today and helping us navigate through a basket of sectors and stock ideas that we could be probably looking at in this kind of a setup. It's been a choppy ride throughout the course of the day, but we'll see how it really pans out after the earnings that come in today too. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time with us on Market today, Gaurav.
Thank you, Sakshi. It was indeed a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Well, 60 points lower in trade. It's very, very choppy as far as the markets are concerned. 25,090 is where we are at this point, off the low point, but again, unable to sustain those higher moves. There is capped upsides that we always see, and that's also seemed to be working. If you look at the last part of how the Nifty and the Nifty Bank have both moved, the charts would almost look identical to you in the last few ticks in the last 15 minutes of a trade as well. Real estate is higher. You have small caps and mid caps that are higher, consumer durables that are moving up, pharma stocks that are up, PSU banks ticking higher, autos, FMCG slight higher move. Private banks are now slipping into the red again. You have oil and gas, financial services and IT. These are the three pockets, again the heavyweight pointers that are weighing on the downside and the sentiments that are being breached as well. Eternal is the top mover on the Nifty right now, 2.8% higher. Then you also have a whole host of moves that we can see across the board. Titan, ONGC. You also have names like Grasim, HDFC Life, IndusInd Bank, Adani Enterprises. Those are the pockets that are moving up. Even Adani Group stocks, there is some move on the higher side. On the lower end, Jio, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, Infosys, HCL Tech. So at least 4 of the top 5-6 movers on the downside are from the IT pack. So IT continues to weigh in. Muting the expectations from HCL Tech is what both Asim pointed out from brokerage houses, and Gaurav also expects the same as well. On the F&O side, Vodafone Idea tops the charts today, 7% higher. Piramal Enterprises, Mankind Pharma. So Pharma moves, they continue on the healthier side. On the downside, SBI Cards, Mazagon Dock, Jio Finance, Angel One. These are the stocks that are actually lagging in trade today. Top movers, like I said, from the Nifty 500 basket, Newland Laboratories, 20% circuit. What a remarkable move you have seen on this stock today. Ola Electric is another one that's moved up 19.8% higher at 47.6. So it ends at the day's high move, and this is despite the losses that have come in for the company in the Q1 quarter as well. So Ola Electric shares continue to move up after a long haul of underperformance that we have actually seen in the market. So 19.75% of a move is what you see on Ola Electric. You also have names like Anand Rathi Wealth, about 13.8% higher. Also have names like Igrashi Motors that moved up higher in trade. Let's look at Allied Blenders and Distillers, about 8% higher. Godfrey Phillips, MTNL, Navkar Corp, Gujarat Apollo Industries, all of these stocks. So it's the broader markets, viewers, that are coming back. And you can see a strong stock-specific action that is continuing within the broader market. So I think the tide is turning here. We'll have to keep a keen, close eye on how the mid and the small caps could move forward from here. But of course, all eyes will be on how the earnings definitely pan out. That is going to be the key litmus test for all the stocks to continue their move higher. 25,087, we close in at 62 points lower in trade today. Leaving you at that, but do stay tuned on to Business Today Television. We'll continue to do our coverage on markets and beyond markets in the world of business and finance. Stay tuned, a lot for you to catch up on.
आज का भारत